Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of CookieCast. Today on CookieCast, it's football, or soccer, or football. That's right, it's You Can't See the Forest for the Tees. They're both here. Mr. Williams, Mr. Panas, on the sofa, talking football. No games to predict, but we still managed to fill the time. So, it's still a bumper episode. Nobody's losing out. It's fine. If you aren't checking us out on YouTube, pop over there, check out the video that we've got going on for this episode, and if you could just click that subscribe button, we would appreciate it immensely. So here we go. This is CookieCast. You can't see the forest for the tees.
I can go again, booking one.
Shots fired. Who? Maybe you'll find out in the course of this podcast. Welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, to the show that...
Never.
There we go. Seamless, that. It's another enthralling...
Is that a new word?
He created a new word to kick the podcast off.
Welcome to another exciting instalment of You Can't See the Forest for the Tees. And on that note, shall we open with this week's biggest news, this week in football? James, what's just happened within the last hour or so?
I don't know, probably some last minute loan transfers. As predicted by me on the podcast and other people elsewhere, Fabulous who's shot back. I'm not in agreement with that.
Yeah, but, look at the results, man. The results don't lie.
No?
I think that something had to change, and obviously, I don't know if that's a... Had he tried a new formation in the last couple of games, or did he just literally stick to what he knew?
How many managers try different formations, Paul? Or how many managers just have ripped up all the other pages that aren't 4-2-3-1?
When Karanka was in charge of the borough,
yeah.
He, I think he must have gone to like a supporters group thing at one point.
They said what they would want, and he was like, "Yeah, right, can't work something like that."
No, they said to. I think they said to him on Twitter or something. There was a reason he did it, but he'd had some sort of abuse. I'll say abuse is probably a bit hard, but he had some constructive criticism that he should maybe attempt to play two strikers. Played it against Blackburn away, they got beat, and he came out on the radio and said, well, now you've seen how we play with two strikers, maybe we can abandon that. So he basically played with two strikers, got beat to prove a point that he didn't want to play with two strikers.
Did he play like... He played like 8 right backs in the
No, he's not Tony Pulis. We had to wait for that until, 2 managers' time for that.
But yeah, no, anyway, he's gone. I'm sad, but losing the first 4 games of the season is sad. The weird thing is though that I don't think there's any shame in the Bristol City result.
No.
But the other ones before it.
Ironically, probably the best result they've had this season.
Yeah, we scored a goal.
Yeah. And it was a good finish as well, to be fair. Luke Freeman.
I think you said they were tested. The keeper was tested.
Yeah, so every game I've seen this season, there's been at least one attempt that Forest have had that's literally top bins, going in the top corner, and the keeper has literally got to it, and I've said literally like 8 times, about 5%. Fingertip clawed it out of the top corner. So they've been unlucky in certain games, but there's that the age-old saying, you make your own luck. Definition of madness is, doing the same things over and over and over again, expecting a different result. If he's not playing a different formation, if he's just trying, I know he's changed the players around, but if you don't change the way you play, how can you expect You know,
It's just a massively different
things
team
to
to last year as well when you look out there.
Is it though? The back four, I suppose.
The back four's different. Watson's not there.
Yeah.
Lolly's not. I was fearful that he was going.
He can't.
Yesterday. The thing is, he went off.
He can still go.
Domestic.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got injured a couple of games ago, didn't he?
That was against Cardiff when he came off.
Yeah, but then he come on and played against Huddersfield.
Hey, do you know what I've just realised?
What?
Playing on Sky is a curse for our teams.
Right.
Because all 3 games that have been on Sky so far this season, lost. No more Sky games.
Doesn't seem to be the villain.
We'll come to that later.
I know, yeah. No, it's just a bit of a different team. Carvalho's gone, Silva's gone.
Carvalho wasn't getting much of a look in last season, or was he? Like,
No, because Silva was there.
Silva? Do you mean Baby Bruno?
Baby Bruno's gone. Strangely, there's a bit of a flip to Olympiacos. So yeah. But we still signed. We've still got a couple of people.
Yeah, Cafu. He must be what, 50? Oh, different Cafu.
If only it was that Cafu, I bet he'd still be better.
You're telling him about Cyrus Christie, you're mental.
Cafu's ageless though, isn't he? Come on.
Oh, do you reckon if someone said to you, listen, lads,
like Zanetti,
you have to take Cafu and Roberto Carlos, but now, would you still try it? But even just for a game? You'd absolutely take it.
Yeah.
Because you just hope you get a free kick, just dead in the centre of the pitch. And just Roberto Carlos absolutely massive.
I think looking at him, Cafu looks like he might have kept a bit of physicality. I think Roberto Carlos has let himself.
He's fallen into the Steve Bruce trap.
A little bit.
Is that a kebab shop? Am I allowed in that kebab shop? I'll go in that kebab shop.
So yeah, disappointing all around. Don't really know what to say. But they have already brought in the replacement.
Straight enough, in a similar fashion to how Lamucci got the job in the first place. Although saying that, I believe it was something like 14 minutes between the decisions. This one, same fucking announcement.
I think it was. I mean, I wasn't aware of one without the other, put it that way. It's Chris Hughton.
Steady manager, good for the championship. He's got Norwich, Newcastle and Brighton promoted.
I don't think I really know too much about Hughton. A couple of people I've got some texts off, I can imagine, suggested a bit of a defensive manager.
That's what I've heard.
So,
although saying that, when he got Newcastle promoted, they went up like over 100 points. So
yeah.
obviously, not in Forest, probably not getting anywhere near that this season. So, yeah.
he had a team.
Yeah. Although I'm pretty sure that's the season. Was that the season he had Darryl Murphy? No, it wasn't. That was the other season.
It just seems like, I don't know. Obviously, you have to react to results.
Mm-hmm.
They've let him mess a lot with the squad in the last few weeks, which is bizarre.
The timing is strange.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you sack a manager the day after the transfer window? Well, it's not shut. I know they can still do domestic deals, but obviously with him having like Olympiacos.
Yeah, we can't ship in the Olympiacos reserve team anymore. So yeah, well that's what else can I say? That's what happened in football this week, or indeed today.
I can only assume that the chairman was just like,
I told you to pull the trigger.
Well, I was going to say, I can only assume he was sort of like thinking, hang on a second. Did I start and end the season with the same manager last season?
Yes.
What was I thinking? That could be the only explanation for what's happened there. I don't know how much of that will come through on the podcast because I think it's stuck for a long time. Oh, was it all fine?
Yep.
Oh, was it just Andy putting a really still face? Yeah. So we'll see how Houghton goes as replacements go. I'm not upset, but I'd have liked. I think Lemucci still had something in him.
Of the people that were available, it could have been worse. You could have had Tony.
I'm starting to think that we need to. I'm starting to think that we need to kick off the Tony Pulis count again, because I'm pretty sure his name's got a hammer in this episode. So I might just start notching them up again. Are you missing him, Paul? Are you missing him? Missing the Pulis days?
Pulin. Tony Pulin.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's as much as I can say, really.
Now, I know at the start of the season we said we were going to try and make this a little more Championship central, not talk as much about the Premier League. But then Man United go and concede 6, and Liverpool concede 7 in the same day.
Did someone say that the last time that happened in the same week?
Everton fans everywhere just start absolutely shitting the bed.
Well, do you know the big winner this year is Kazoo?
Oh, yeah. Didn't even think about that. Sponsorship wars, obviously
it's like the Premier League Bet360, Red 32.
Red 32. The key to being a Premier League force is to be sponsored by Kazoo.
Can you believe we've got to the stage in the Premier League though, where I know a couple of teams only play 3 games, but we're 4 games in.
Only 2 undefeated.
Only 2 undefeated teams.
And
Everton and Villa.
Yeah, neither one of them City or Liverpool. Ridiculous. Yeah, I'd love to know when the last time Liverpool conceded 7.
And interestingly, after yesterday, what's the one thing that people have been saying that Everton is struggling with? Pickford.
Just
brought in a new keeper, didn't they?
To be honest,
he's been publicly backing Pickford.
That could be the kick up the arse that he needs, though. It could be a case of.
Do you think?
If because he's at the minute he's probably not playing well because he's low on confidence, but he's probably not. He's not going to get any better because he knows there's no one there that's like pushing him for his positions. I don't even know where that backup is. Is it still Robles?
I've got absolutely no idea.
You're not going to be playing him over Pickford, are you? So this is sort of the kick up the arse that he probably needs because he might sort of like think to himself now, right, I can't afford to keep playing like I've got no fucking hands. I need to start actually pulling.
He needs to be seriously doing something. Albert Lewis. It's like you just need to score more goals.
He's buying all of his pizzas. He's buying all of his like beer and stuff for those parties. He's not supposed to be. On the wait a minute, so it's not Danny. It's Tammy Abraham, Sancho.
Well, apparently the story there is. So we're moving on, but this is still this week.
It's still counted as this week in football because it happened yesterday.
Do you remember what happened in the last international break, Andy, where we talked about the Icelandic ladies and the 2? Who was it?
Mason Greenwood and
Foden. Gone off to pull some Icelandic ladies. They'd broke curfew or whatever. Well, 3 people have been kicked out of the England squad. Now, so obviously, as we discussed, no predictions this week. It's international break. When do we play? Is it Saturday, Sunday?
Well, it's usually Saturday. It's usually Saturday, Tuesday, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it might be that weird one where it's Thursday, Sunday, or Sunday, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Let's have a look.
So
I'm sure I saw something being for Saturday.
Yeah, I think it's Wales games on Saturday. I think actually. It's a friend. So anyway. 3 people have already been, they've not been kicked out of the England squad, they've just been told don't report. So you're obviously supposed to keep your social distancing rules, role model stuff. How many people are allowed in one place, Andrew?
6, James.
You think footballers are allowed to have a different rule?
Footballers have a different rule for absolutely everything. Because they get paid ridiculous amounts of money.
Well, apparently they don't. So, I think, who's the other one? Sancho, Abrams, David Abrams.
Tammy Abraham, Jadon Sancho.
And who's the other?
Probably not. Just checked. It's Thursday, Sunday.
Oh, is it this?
England, Wales Thursday. England, Belgium Sunday.
So anyway, they've been told not to report. Apparently, they can't admit them into the squad because they've missed the first test to start off the time frame to make sure you're all cool or whatever. But anyway, it was because Tammy Abraham's family threw a surprise birthday party for him.
It's nice.
Apparently, 20 plus people there.
That's right.
So
they all live in
fairness,
they all live in the same house though, presumably. So that's fine.
Oh yeah, they all live in the same house.
It doesn't matter about that. It's just it, isn't it?
Chilwell. Ben Chilwell.
Yeah, that's a bit of an outlier, that one. But anyway, I think the idea is that I think Abram can kind of claim it was a surprise party. I didn't know they were all going to be there, but obviously Chilwell and Sancho knew well in advance that they're all going to be there because they were part of the surprise party for him. So anyway, yeah, Southgate's apparently fuming.
So, according to Sky Sports News, Tammy Abraham, Ben Chilwell and Jadon Sancho will not be investigated by the police after breaching coronavirus rules by attending a party on Saturday. The trio, who will miss England's game against Wales on Thursday because of their decision to celebrate Abraham's birthday at his London flat, could have been fined up to £10,000 after breaching the government's rule of 6. However, a statement from the Metropolitan Police on Tuesday said, as a matter of course, the MPS, Metropolitan Police Service, is not investigating COVID-related issues retrospectively. Where we become aware of a breach occurring, officers will seek to engage, explain and encourage people to follow the rules, only enforcing as a last resort. Where alleged breaches are brought to our attention after the event, officers will not have had the opportunity to engage, explain or encourage, and those involved will not have had the opportunity to respond positively to that process as most people do. Therefore, it would not be appropriate or an effective use of resources in most circumstances to investigate or pursue enforcement. We encourage everyone to make themselves aware of and to follow the rules. That sounds like the biggest cop-out I've ever fucking heard.
Just remember that for the future, get you and 20 mates together, and then if you get reported after the fact, be like, don't matter, does it? What are you going to do about it? It's after the fact. Apparently I can do whatever I want. Bullshit.
Exactly.
So apparently, it's not too late that if they kind of like turn up to do some tests and stuff, that they can still be part of the Sunday game, the second game in the thing, but it's too short notice now to go through whatever they think if Southgate wanted to.
He just won't, will he?
No, I don't think he will.
He'll just tell them, lads.
He's fast running out of fucking responsible players, though, isn't he?
Southgate's yet to decide if Sancho, Chilwell and Abraham will go back into the incoming side with the two Nations League games against Belgium and Denmark. Also, they must be playing 3 games. They must be playing Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday.
Ah.
So they must be playing Belgium and Denmark on Wednesday.
Yeah, it's just a bit. I mean, obviously, Abraham's fucked himself because, I'm in the England squad, maybe I'll get a game. He's already got to work damn hard to kind of offset Calvert-Lewin at this point, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Who is flying.
Yeah. Depending on how he wants to play, maybe be tempted to sort of start him up top with Kane. Just maybe play a 4-3-1-2.
Like Sterling and
play a similar system to what the Borough started this season with. Obviously not as good a front three as
Chuba.
Or Chuba there. At the time it was great.
Fletch
and South. BFT.
BFT. Yeah, so I don't know if there's is there any big transfers you wanna bring to the table?
Not really. I mean, Borough didn't do any business.
I don't mean Forest.
Oh, I see.
I mean, the fact that I know we talk about Woodward being shit at transfers. How he got 18 million for Smalling? What a genius!
Chris Smalling, £18 million was it? He got to roll that.
He wanted it. They wanted it.
So they
were just haggling over fee, weren't they?
Unbelievable. So United signed him for 12 million. What? Almost 10 years ago. They've had him for 10 years, or almost 10 years. He's arguably got worse, and they've sold him for a profit.
You see, I was talking to Tim the other day. Tim thinks he should have been brought back into the squad and give it a go.
Well, bring him back. Sell Phil Jones. He's fucking terrible.
Doesn't even get his squad.
Oh, no, just awful. Horrendous.
But I think Tim's viewpoint as the closest thing I've got to a Man United fan sort of thing was like, I realised that they need to get them off the wage bill, and I realised that no one wants to buy them because no one's going to match their ridiculous contracts.
Speaking of ridiculous contracts, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, 150 grand a week.
Oh, that's only come out because Chelsea are paying a load of it, right? Are Chelsea still paying something like 100 grand of that or something?
Well, has he actually gone on loan to someone?
Yeah, went to Fulham yesterday.
Loftus-Cheek?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he'd actually gone.
Yeah.
Well,
that happened, didn't it?
Must be. I didn't know he'd gone.
Oh, well, now you're making me question.
Oh no, Loftus-Cheek joins Fulham on loan.
Yeah.
Shows how much I've been paying attention.
Yeah, but I think Chelsea are paying a large proportion of wages. I like Loftus-Cheek though.
150 grand a week though. Fucking hell.
Establishing in England is...
No! Not establishing the international. James. Joke of an England international. Anyway.
So yeah, he went... Smalling went... Man United had 4 players yesterday, didn't they?
Yeah, but one of them's not joining until January at the early.
Is that Dahlia?
I think so.
So they got Dahlia, they got that left back they wanted.
Hang on.
That apparently has been a done deal for a while. They were just arguing over the fee. Like, because Solskjaer come out and goes, don't lose him for for the sake of 4 million or like that. Like, I want him.
Diallo to join Man United in January. Man United sent Tellers from Porto for 15.4 million. He's a left back. So you'd imagine that Luke Shaw is
out.
Very much out the door.
Yeah.
Edinson Cavani, who signed on free.
Right, right. So Cavani, his record done like he's a good striker. Does this not just scream of it's like Falco version 2?
A bit of a desperation purchase, I think. I know they didn't purchase it, you said.
No, but they've literally just you've just gone out and bought a let's say a yesteryear name. You know what I mean?
Bit of a strange one for me. Palestri was the other one. Facundo Palestri.
Never heard of him. I don't know who that guy is either. So that was that. What else moved?
The biggest move was Partey, wasn't it?
I don't know who that guy is.
Thomas Partey signed for Arsenal for around 45 million.
I always love it when someone's going for 45 million.
No idea who it is. Yeah, well, it's like when Spurs signed Lamella, I think everyone was like, who?
Yeah, but how much did he move?
30, I think. It was big money.
He was, so, what I found from watching that documentary, All Enough, I didn't realise that he was like a proper youth star. Like, I think a lot of South America thought he would be the next Messi. Yeah. Well, everyone's going to get the next Messi. But you know what I mean? Like, the next big thing out of South America, he just wasn't.
No.
I think he's still soft.
Yeah, he's alright. I feel we've got a little off track.
Yeah.
Is it maybe time to bring it back on track with maybe last week's games, Andrew?
Well, last week's games... Interesting. So, we've got no games to predict, but we did predict games last week. Never let it be said that the gentlemen that hold the reins of the You Can't See the Forest for the Tees podcast, you know, it takes a little bit of time, get that speed up, get that momentum going, but when they do, points everywhere. None of that bagel rubbish. It's points on the board. And at this point in time, every single person listening or watching thinks I'm taking the piss. So let's find out. 2 games were predicted. The first of those 2 games, Middlesbrough versus Barnsley. The Middlesbrough man there threw out a prediction, just threw it away. The Nottingham Forest man there, he threw out a prediction. I threw out a prediction. So let's see how close we were. Paul, your team, did they win, lose or draw?
Middlesbrough scored 2 goals. Barnsley scored 1 goal. That adds up to a Middlesbrough win for me.
It does add up to a Middlesbrough win for you, doesn't it? Because for the second week in a row, Mr. Williams managed to correctly predict the score of a game. 2-1. Points on the board for Mr. Panas. Didn't predict it correctly, but did predict a win for the Borough, which was the correct thing to do. This guy...
You go draw.
I went for a draw. It's not going to get any points, is it? No points. I only hope that I can bring it back somehow. Bring it back. Claw points back somehow. Who scored the goals, Paul?
So, the first Middlesbrough goal, at one point on Saturday, was scored by Sam Morsey, and I was thinking, get in there! That goal got chalked out for offside. I went for Morsey and Akpom. So I almost got it again, bang on. But the Morsey goal was chalked out for offside because it hit, I think it was a Sombolonga on the way through, and he was stood in an offside position. So correctly, the goal was chalked out. However, the first goal was scored by Johnny Howson.
It was. Unfortunately...
Annoyingly, I remember sitting here thinking, I'm going to go Howson, and I went for it. The reason why it's a strange one is because he didn't score all last season. Yeah, the majority of the season he was playing centre half. Was it 45 plus 5 he scored? 45 plus 2, so it was literally just before half time he scored. The second goal, with his second goal in 2 games, Chubbs. Everyone's favourite Chubber. There's just so many catchphrases for him, isn't there? In a Middlesbrough-based stat, first Middlesbrough striker to score in his first 2 appearances since Ravenelli.
Mido. Oh. There you go.
No idea.
Let's hope it doesn't turn out the same as it did for Mido, because he was a waste of space.
I think until recently,
he was a bit of a chonker. He was a bit of a chubber.
He just playing his next spot until recently.
Inzaghi. That's terrible.
Now then, I seem to remember that the score was actually 2-1.
Yeah.
Just want to tell us who scored Barnsley's goal?
I believe I went for Alex Mowat. And I was incorrect.
You were.
Woodrow.
Corley Woodrow.
Yeah. And I bet he went for it.
Look at the little smirk on his face. You know it. Yeah, boy.
Hello. So, Middlesbrough take another win with a 2-1. Goal scored by Howson and Chubber, or Akbom, or whatever it is, and Woodrow.
That's incredible.
Paul, not only did you...
You beaten him on that one, and then you got the result wrong.
We need, right, the next season we need to put weightings on.
Oh, this guy trying to change the idea, trying to change the scoring system. What a wanker.
Trying to go to decimal points. So, Paul, correct score for the correct score, and also a correct prediction of goal scorer with Chubber. James, unfortunately, only predicting a win and not the correct one. You only get the 1 point there, I'm afraid. I did not correctly predict any form of score. I did, however, manage to pick 2 of the 3 goal scorers. 2 points. So anybody who's got a calculator or is good with numbers, 3, 1, 2 so far. Now that, I think if we go back over some of the weeks recently, that is a higher scoring game than some of the full weeks we've had. But it doesn't end there. Does it, James?
No.
Nottingham Forest took on Bristol City.
They did. So this is strange though, because this is the one week that all our teams play. Obviously, haven't you been the big Bristol City fan?
Obviously.
What was the score in that game, James?
I don't want to think about it. It was it got better towards the end, honestly. It was Bristol City 2, Forest 1. Yeah.
Are you aware of who?
20 minutes though, wasn't it?
Are you aware of who scored those goals?
I'll have a go. I'm pretty sure I remember.
For Forest?
Because I think I picked Martin and Wells, but it was not Martin and Wells. From memory, it was Vyman and Wells.
If you check the BBC, it has Martin down for the assist. Or an assist. So close.
I mean, we could start getting into some murky territory if we start picking the assist.
We might as well run full fantasy football. Let's take points off.
But we're on the sofa, yeah. So we might as well kick it up another notch.
Yeah.
Forest?
For Forest, first goal of the season, first goal for the club. Freeman.
Free man. So,
yeah.
More interesting points here. So,
yeah.
Follow along with me. Paul Williams, you correctly predicted the score. 2 points for you, sir. James Panas also correctly predicted the score. 2 points for you, sir. I didn't have as much faith as you gentlemen, and I only got 1 point for picking Bristol City to win. Paul Williams correctly picks Freeman and Wells.
Fuck off, did you have Freeman? You didn't even know?
I didn't even remember that. I thought I'd gone for Lyle Taylor.
Oh,
this is unbelievable. It is
outrageous. I didn't know that.
2 more points for you, sir.
It is unreal.
James Panas, unfortunately, assists don't count, so you also get a point for picking Wells, and this man also takes a point for also picking Wells, like a sheep to the slaughter. He followed suit and picked
honestly, if
the
Wells
goals.
is involved in the game, he's scoring the goals.
4 points for Mr. Williams, 3 points for Mr. Panas.
Wow. When did you calculate all these? Did you calculate all these before 6 o'clock?
Don't worry.
Whoa. Don't you dare jump that gun, you little... 2 points for Mr. Cook. So, a 4-3-2 running down there. So, the total for the week, Paul just absolutely running away with points, as I think scored more points this week than something like 3 weeks combined. It's insane. James has got... Paul's got 7 points, by the way. James has got 4. Myself, I've also got 4. So you've got to stick with the you can't see the forest for the tees, boys, because we get there eventually with the points. Couple of things, though. Little asterisks right here that says Forest manager to be fired if they lose. Just remind me what happened today, James?
fired.
You got the boot!
And I was feeling generous earlier when I did the points, so I gave you an additional point for the week. So you got 5, and now I'm going to take it off you for being a git. But hang on.
Or did someone else make a bold call?
Let's just.
No, I see where we're going with it.
Let's just rewind 1 second. Let me just check something. I need to just check something real quick. Middlesbrough 2-1, correctly predicted by the master of predictions himself, Paul Williams. Nottingham Forest, Bristol City, 2-1 to Bristol City, which was correctly predicted by Paul Williams. Now, there's this little something that we do here on the podcast, and that's that's right. We like to put a little bit of money on the games, and that is that 85 English pounds for correctly predicting both games.
I think it's funny because for a while I had the correct scores there.
Personally,
we've all gone through a period of being on it.
Yeah.
And this just happened to be my time to be on it.
and cashing in on it as well. So when I always say, follow us for predictions and bets, I'm pretty sure at this point in time that if somebody had taken 50p a week and picked some of our bets, they'd probably be up at this point in time. Just saying. So, quid's in the kitty, quid's in. Well done to you, Mr. Williams. No games to predict.
No games.
Because we do not dabble with that international rubbish. Because, England are garbage at football. What can we say?
There's also the fact there's no Borough or Forest players involved in the game, so why do we care?
So we don't care. So, that brings us very swiftly to those three little letters. Those letters are A, O, B. Any other business, gentlemen?
We need to talk about... Well, we can brush over the...
Yeah. The football world in the last couple of weeks has gone very...
mental.
Weird. Obviously, there was the Liverpool result against Aston Villa on Sunday.
Yeah.
There was the Man United result against Spurs on Sunday.
Quite honestly, went under the radar. Leicester getting beaten by West Ham.
Leicester getting beaten by West Ham
3-0.
3-0.
Loved the other game that day.
Sheffield United 1, Arsenal 2.
Yes.
Southampton 1, West Brom 0. Not surprising results.
No.
The week before, you had Leicester beating Man City 5-2. Yeah, some very strange results at the minute. So there's the question of is the fact that fans aren't there causing these sort of wild results to happen, and does there being a crowd there matter? Does it give the team more emphasis to go out and play? I mean, you'd imagine no for the Aston Villa result, because if there was a crowd there, you would argue it could have ended up as more for Villa, because if the fans were getting behind them every time they'd scored, they'd have been going absolutely bloody apeshit. So
I tell you what,
strange one.
It could have been a lot worse in that game. Watkins had a right effort.
Against the bar. It's just
he missed. He had honestly a one-on-one which he should have scored.
The biggest thing that I think we even spoke about on the podcast either the week before or last week.
I was just about to mention.
The run of hat-tricks continues.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ollie Watkins. The worst thing was I was watching the Spurs Man United game, and obviously Son had scored twice and got taken off. I was like, no! And then Kane get a second.
Kane got two.
Kane got a second, and I was like, he might get the hat-trick. and then the game in.
If you looked across those games and you were looking for a hat trick, that's that weekend.
Yeah.
Watkins was not going to be.
Well, let's put it this way. So
in fairness, Mo Salah could have easily got a hat trick.
Son scored 2. Kane scored 2. Salah scored 2. Ollie Watkins got the hat trick. Grealish scored 2 as well. So
he got the last 2, didn't he?
I think so. There was plenty of chances for places for hat tricks, and then Ollie Watkins finally sorted it out. So thankfully, the run continues, and we've got 4 in 4 weeks.
No,
5 in 4 weeks.
And correct me if I'm wrong, and I missed it. Why, oh why did Liverpool not go get another keeper yesterday? Honestly,
I didn't even know.
What point? What's the point to you? Because he's out just depleted now.
Is it?
Yeah. Jesus. So, I thought it was. But honestly, that guy is a liability.
He's pretty bad.
He's making Karius look not that bad.
Competent.
Do you think there's been a call in? Like Klopp's gone to Lampard and went, okay, just get up.
Hi, Rob. You retired last season when you left Chelsea. Do you fancy a
Champions League?
Fancy a quick run?
Or Europa League?
Yeah. You just come in for a couple of games at Chelsea?
Honestly. And granted, yeah, some of those goals can't do anything about it because there was a hell of a lot of deflected goals. Right? Obviously, you can't do too much about that first goal. What the fuck is he doing?
He's a backup keeper. That's his level.
But this has caught Liverpool out before. Like, when you've got a keeper like Becker, great. But you still need someone competent to come in, and that guy's not.
No, he's. It was quite funny because obviously everyone always goes on Arsenal fan TV. That's the funny one to watch. But obviously, most teams have now got their own equivalent YouTube channel called X Team Fan Channel or whatever, fan TV. So Liverpool had their own fan TV, and there was a guy going through the lineup in preparation for the game, and he was like, "Adrian will be in goal today. He's solid. He won't concede 6 like the other lot down the road just now."
Oh God,
you're absolutely right, mate. He definitely won't concede 6. He'll go one better.
Kiss of death.
Absolutely spectacular.
You see, what was it? Who was doing Match of the Day that night?
I didn't see it. Probably Chapman, innit?
It was whoever was
the pundits.
The ex-footballer pundits, where they were saying, like, a lot of people have been questioning could Watkins step up. They're like, I know it's only one game, but he's absolutely made, undisputably, the best defender in the world look bang average.
Yeah. Well, he's not started the season well as Van Dijk, has he? Really? I mean, he got turned inside out by Bamford for Leeds' first.
If you think, yeah, okay, Leeds have won. Liverpool have won 3 and lost 1. But how many goals have conceded this season?
So 3 against Leeds, 7 against Villa. Did they concede against Chelsea? No, we beat Chelsea 2-0 and they beat Arsenal 2-1.
It's still outrageous.
So they conceded 11. Jesus.
And they've got what?
They've got a negative. They've got a minus. They've got a 0 goals.
Yeah.
So what there? So 4, 2 against 4, 6, 8, 10. That's missed the goal out.
They have got an equal goal.
Maybe they beat Arsenal 3-1. Right. Well, yeah, not good.
Mental.
Watch this space. You never know. It could make it. It would be strangely cruel that we get the best sort of attacking season in a season where people aren't allowed into grounds to see it. That'd be a very cruel irony.
I just hope that. I think. Yeah, all right. Villa have started all right. They'll probably fall away. You could argue they might end up around Europe by the end. Then I can't see them lasting the top. You don't think they'll stay that high?
No.
I don't know.
Fuck Villa.
But
get back down, leave alone.
But do you know what? Like I don't know.
Shots fired.
I kind of have a feeling that Everton could be in that that race for 4.
They're in that little pocket of teams that could, if everything goes right for them, they could challenge for the top 4. You'd argue it's them, Arsenal,
Leicester.
Spurs, Leicester, Wolves, maybe.
Most pundits put the top 4 as the 2 Manchester clubs.
Chelsea, Liverpool, City, United.
Everyone went big on United at the start.
I maintain that was the biggest overhype of all, and it was all because they've got the started playing.
They played very well after lockdown, and Fernandes had a lot of influence.
The lack of signings was worrying, and
they've done the same thing they always do. Just
their defence across the board is horrendous. The only decent defender in there is Wan-Bissaka, and he's not even that good at defending.
I think he is good at defending.
It's worrying. Let's put it that way. They need serious work, and to say anyone who says that Maguire is anything other than absolute dog shit is.
I don't agree with you.
Looking at somebody, I have no idea. Just awful.
He's
horrendous.
hag of
Slathead.
That was going to go most expensive defender in the world.
He's
He's not warranted. I think he's still a good player.
Yeah. Criminally short.
I know you don't like that, but it looked like him and Lindelof had got something going. Maybe jumped on too soon.
The worrying thing for me is, if I was a United fan, the worrying thing for me would be the fact that they've just brought this guy in last summer. He's already the captain.
Yeah.
That should never be the case. You should never be putting a guy who's new to the dressing room as your captain. For me, I just think it sends the wrong signals out here. To me, if you were already in the squad, that would be a massive sort of warning sign of. Go on.
Who was Chelsea's captain last week then?
I can't remember.
Debut. So Aspilicueta was on the bench. Thiago Silva started that game as captain.
Christ almighty.
Aspilicueta came off the bench at half time and took over. But
I just don't get it.
Yeah.
I
think there's something to be said for if that guy's got the big influence. I can see why. And if they've had, so again, this is where we're going fall short though. If they've had experience of captaining before, when they come in, they've still got that. But I don't, to my knowledge, he's not been a captain.
Well, he wasn't at Leicester, was he? Who was the captain at Leicester?
Well,
Where's Morgan or it would have been Schmeichel,
yeah.
Or possibly even Vardy, maybe.
I think it would have been Morgan and Schmeichel.
It was all before that.
I don't know. And certainly wouldn't have been at United.
Stu, where's Stu? Where's Stu when we need him?
It's unlike
Ian Ashby, that'll do. He'll have been the captain. He was long fucking gone by the time I went.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Man United do something. I have a bit of popular, but they've got some samey players. I don't see where Donny fits in.
Well, yeah. If they play the system, surely it's him or Matic. Him or Matic or Fred.
He's not a sitter though, is the Don. Isn't he a standard? He's an MC, isn't he?
Well, in the system they play, they'll play 4-3-3.
Do they play 4-3-3?
Yeah, because they're on.
I suppose, yeah.
That's certainly what they did on Sunday, and they have the front three of Rashford, Greenwood, Martial, who has looked terrible this season. He's looked way short, way off the pace. There's your front three.
Maybe that's why the front three got so many goals last year.
And then they had Matic, Fernandes and Pogba.
Yeah, but I thought that was the two with Fernandes in the 3 with Martial in front. I think I see it still like that, but I can see why you think 4-3-3, but yeah.
But would you not have it as 4 Matic holding, them two sort of floating in and around Martial with the other two wide?
Possibly.
So they've got some serious problems to sort out.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if Varney makes a difference.
I don't think he'll play. You might put him on. You might get him to put some pressure on Rashford, not Rashford, Martial, and play him through the centre. But other than that,
Rashford still looks all right this year.
Yeah, I think Rashford looks all right. Greenwood's always looked okay. They're just
They're still doing his thing.
Something's just not quite right with it. But you never know. United do this though. They have like sort of like down periods and then just come back and smash it. Watch his space.
Indeed.
Hey, we did put a lot of thought about Premier League, didn't we?
Yeah. That New Year's resolution of sorts with the podcast. Sorry about that.
Right. Well, thank you both. Obviously, there'll be no games to cover next week from a predictions perspective, but we'll be able to predict the coming games. So, still predictions to do.
Yeah, no, we'll be there to resume, see if we can get a bit of a Hugh and honeymoon period.
Possibly, we shall see. Right,
he's been put in charge just in time for the Borough game in a couple of weeks.
Ooh. Beautiful.
Is it Tele?
No, but I imagine we'll be able to sort out. We'll arrange for Lewis to not play that. We'll get his pass.
It's not a Saturday though, isn't it?
I think so.
Is it? I didn't think we had a Saturday one. I thought we were moaning at the start of the season, but both fixtures have been picked as...
Well, as you're still here, Andrew,
Not
it'll be official podcast business, so we'll check it to make sure. Saturday, 31st of October, Middlesbrough, Nottingham Forest.
Do you remember when the fixture came out, we said, we won't be able to go to that day?
Yeah, because it was an away Forest. The Forest away game was a Tuesday or Wednesday night. Yeah. So we just said, that's the one. It always seems to fall, but the away game now seems to fall on a Tuesday or Wednesday, so it's just a fall again. But it won't matter anyway, because we won't be able to go.
No.
So.
Although, here's another thing, quickly. Why was the fans at that York City game? I didn't understand that.
At a certain level, so who were they playing? Were they playing Wealdstone? No. I can't remember who they played. Regardless, whoever it was that they played at a low enough level where because you can't control the amount of people in the ground...
It's not a secure ground.
I don't think it's got turnstiles on certain sections, so in theory you could just walk up to the side of it. So I think that's why you're allowed fans there, because you can't necessarily control. I would imagine that's it. Don't hold me to that, but I think that's the...
That's the first and last time this season I've watched your content.
Shots fired.
Indeed. Right, thank you, gentlemen, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.
Au revoir, all.
So there we go. What do you think to that? Another one done. Thank you to the boys for joining me and predicting some football. Well, no. That was last week. This week there's no predictions. But, there will be next week. So, tune in for that. Anyway, YouTube watchers, talking to you guys. If you could click that subscribe button, that would be a big help to the channel. Everybody jump over to thecookiecast.com. Check us out over there. There's social media links. There are email links. Drop us a line. So that's it for this one. Till next time, I'm going to say bye. I'll see you then. Bye.